look like Benavidez. You.
Yeah, one leg.
You gonna look like
Yeah,
him with one leg.
Yeah, one leg.
I'm gonna make you do stanky leg. What's my bet on?
No, but yeah, it's definitely my call. The ball's in my court. What they say, I'm the A side now.
Errol gave me an opportunity and a shot at becoming the first male boxer, undisputed, in any division in a 4-belt era, and I honor,
Ed aside the pound-for-pound list and championship belts, when it comes to real excitement in boxing, the kind that grabs attention from die-hard fans and casual viewers alike, the rematch between Crawford and Spence remains the matchup the sport still craves. Yes, even more than a showdown between Crawford and Canelo.
We signed and contracted to do a rematch, and that's what it is right now.
Do you know when it's going to be, when we can hear?
I don't got no date right now, but I know that's the next fight that Terence Crawford.
The first clash between Crawford and Spence wasn't just a win, it was a dominant performance. Crawford gave Errol Spence Jr. the toughest night of his career, knocking him down 3 times before finishing the fight in the 9th round. It was decisive, intense, and one for the history books. But in boxing, a one-sided battle doesn't always close the chapter. It can set the stage for an even bigger sequel. That's exactly what the recent face-off between the two hints at. Now, with both fighters possibly meeting at 154 and Spence determined to bounce back from what he described as an off night, the story practically writes itself.
He exercised his immediate rematch clause?
I don't know if it's gonna be at 54 or 47, but I'm sure he's probably gonna push the weight up. But there's gonna be no change in the decision. The performance still is gonna be the same. Might be even a little bit better. So he might want to watch out before he activate the rematch clause.
Here's the kicker. This rematch has the potential to surpass even Crawford versus Canelo in all the ways that truly matter. In boxing, post-fight explanations are nothing new, but Spence has been measured and transparent about his struggles leading into the first bout with Crawford. He hadn't stepped into the ring in over a year, and he was pushing his body to make the 147-pound limit, possibly for the last time. Even before the fight, Spence openly discussed the toll the weight cut was taking, emphasizing the need to move up. Observers like Sean Porter and Tim Bradley also pointed out that something seemed off. Spence looked tight, lacked his usual bounce, and didn't show the high-pressure style fans had come to expect from him.
Why?
I can't tell you. I wasn't in camp.
At the division, he dominated for his entire career. All of a sudden, when it came time for this fight, he looked different. Why?
I wasn't in camp with him. I can't tell you. I don't know if his body finally broke down from being at 147 for too long. I don't know if it was him flying from Dallas to Las Vegas, which has different heat and temperatures, and losing weight affects your body.
I just want y'all to realize that Errol Spence is the younger fighter between him and Terence Crawford. He's the bigger fighter between him and Terence Crawford.
This time, it's different. Crawford versus Spence at 154 means no weight issues, no excuses, just a level playing field. We might finally get the fight fans were expecting the first time. As for Crawford versus Canelo, it may look great on paper, but it's more spectacle than showdown. Canelo fights at 168, Crawford without the crossover star power of a Floyd or Canelo. That's pure boxing interest. Now, Spence is on a redemption mission. Crawford holds a new title at 154, and both fighters are healthier, stronger, and better promoted. There's unfinished business, and fans know it.
Needed to fix to make the fight look different in the second time than in the first time. I do believe that, but that's the only thing that I can actually sense, because, I will be on the other side.
This rematch has all the ingredients for a million-plus PPV event, especially if it's held in Vegas again or brought to a massive stadium in Texas, where Spence has a strong hometown following. That's more than what most recent Canelo fights have pulled, outside of his trilogy with GG. Even Canelo versus Charlo, despite heady Showtime promotion, barely hit 600K. In contrast, Crawford versus Spence carries real emotional weight. And here's the twist. Crawford isn't the reserve technician anymore. Since the Spence win, we've seen a new Bud. More vocal, confident, cracking jokes, calling people out. He knows his value now, and the fans are paying attention.
But look who he beat. Undisputed. Look who he beat. Look who he beat. What he did to Spence, and how he did it. That's 3 fights to me. And it took 4 fights out of Spence, right? I'm a fighter, so I can tell you when you get punished like that.
Yeah, I was there ringside watching the fight.
It takes a few years out of you. Don't see the years right now, but it sort of takes something out of that person.
In early 2024, Crawford made it clear Canelo wasn't the priority. He even suggested that a rematch with Spence at 154 carried more weight. If we do it again, I want to make sure we're both healthy, both at our best. That way, no one can say anything after that. That's not someone chasing a paycheck, that's someone chasing legacy. And let's not ignore the controversy. Since the loss, Spence has faced critics saying he's done, that the car crash changed him, and the eye surgeries affected his timing.
You don't deserve no rematch. You got booked.
Which rematch?
Crawford and Spence.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you know the Spence fans. Spence fans, they hold it out. They believe, they man could get it back.
Yeah, well, that's what makes a fan. So they can hope all they want. I don't want to see.
Spence has heard it all, and he's ready to silence the critics. Many claim Crawford beat a compromised version of him, arguing the fight didn't reflect a true clash because Errol wasn't at full strength. The solution? Run it back at 154, no weight cuts, no excuses. That controversy fuels interest. The debates, the breakdowns, the back and forth online, it all drives attention. And that's exactly what Crawford versus Spence promises in abundance.
If Crawford want to challenge himself to be great, let him try to be great, so, I'm with it. So, I'll be going for Bud, if he fight Canelo, I'll be going for him. I mean, I don't know if he's gonna win or lose, but I definitely be going for Crawford, I think.
He wants to make Virgil Ortiz versus Errol Spence Jr. in AT&T Stadium. And I want to chime in and talk about it. I think it's kind of irrelevant for Oscar to be calling out.
What's going on, everybody? This is Brian Mazik, aka Unique Mazik, and it is my pleasure to talk to boxing icon, the face of Golden Boy Promotions, multiple-time world champion, Oscar De La Hoya. How you doing today, Oscar?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Yes, sir, man. It is a pleasure to talk to you. One of the first things that I want to ask you is talk about Virgil Ortiz Jr.'s performance. I'm gonna be honest with you, Oscar. I expected him to have trouble.
I mean, I'll fight anybody. I don't care if it's Boots, I don't care if it's Thurman, I don't care if it's Spence or anybody. Crawford, I really don't care. I would love to fight someone. He's a fighter. I don't think of him, He's just, if he fights him, he fights us, whatever.
Well, I'm trying to fight the best, but I mean, you see that it's not under my control. Like, if it was under my control, I would have fought the world champions already at 140. I would have fought him at 147.
Showdown between Virgil Ortiz Jr. and Errol Spence in Dallas Stadium is generating buzz. Spence hasn't fought since his loss to Crawford, leaving questions about his comeback. Ortiz is in his prime and hungry for bigger challenges.
You're young enough, you could come back from it. I just don't know that Spence was young enough to take that kind of beating at this point. That's where you have the question mark. I think if Spence was, 25 years old, for argument's sake, that hungry determination can bring you back. But 33, you're rich. You've made him a lot of money already too.
And you're rich.
It's a bit tougher, I think, to come back from that.
He landed a couple of times at the end of the round where he was trying to steal a round, but I just was trying to counter him, but at the same time, he had a good game plan. He had a lot of feints, and I was just trying to dictate when he was going to come. And a lot of times I was wrong. I was touching him up with the jab. I think my jab was beating him up all through the fight, but he landed a couple of right hands.